Hello, and welcome to Can You Handle the Truth? I am your host, Jocelyn M. McGuire, specializing in breakthrough counseling, women's ministry, as well as mental health care. Also, I'm experienced with adult and children's trauma. My desire and passion is that those that will overcome with the truth. Now, let's get to it. Can you handle the truth? All right. Oh, my goodness. What a fantastic day. I am in a new location. We're in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we are here in the cabins with my family and friends. Also, you can see in the background the cabin features back there, which is the kitchen. And it is magnificent. It really, really is. Oh, wow. This weekend is Mother's Day. What do you think about that? It's Mother's Day weekend. So I hope you all have got your mothers and those that know have mothers to celebrate them on today. And we're glad that we're here to see another year. Some of us don't have mothers, but however, we will celebrate mothers everywhere. All right. Now, our subject tonight. Oh my goodness, our subject tonight, and we're gonna post it up here. Life is too short. Get rid of beefing. Life is too short. We hear this all the time. From time to time, we hear this about life is too short. And people just say it like it's a cliche with no meaning. But however, don't you know it means so much? Those words are so powerful. But however, people take advantage of saying these words and not really paying attention to the definition of the words that they are speaking. All right. So we're going to get right to it. Life is too short. Stop beefing. Get rid of the beefing. Now, I have heard that there are some families that have not spoken to each other in a number of years, such as siblings. There are siblings that have not spoken to each other for more than 10, 15, 20 years. And I was kind of surprised in hearing such news. But however, guess what? We live in a real world and we live in a real situations. And we come to find out that these things, they do occur. And we don't know the many various reasons. Now, I'm quite sure there are some really good reasons as to why they no longer speak to each other, and we don't know whether or not something occurred between the two, such as there are various reasons. And I thought of a reason today. What would make siblings stop talking to each other? Sometimes a death can occur, and that can cause some bickering. That can cause bickering among siblings, and they will start to bicker among each other for the sake of what was left to them, or maybe mom or dad was the protector, of one child and really favored the one. And now that that protector is gone, now they're going to take advantage of the situation. They're going to take advantage of the situation. So that may be a reason as to why there will be a division among siblings, or division among family members, because you don't necessarily have to be siblings to be relatives. Could be a cousin or uncle, a auntie, a granny, a grandpa, mother and father, cousins. No, these are all relatives that we're speaking about. Not just the beef between siblings, but it can go among different relatives. Uncle not no longer speaking to the nephew because something went down years ago and has not let that go. But however, did you know that life is just too short? Life is just too short. Before on our show, we was talking about, is forgiveness real? Is forgiveness real? We was talking about that, and we have to really question, is it actually a real thing? Do people actually forgive? It's Ask within yourself, do you really forgive? Because when someone approached me and they ask, well, they want to apologize and ask for forgiveness, and if they ever use the word if, that is not a true beginning of, can will you forgive me? And they say, if I did anything to you, sound well, you did something. Good and sound well, you did something. However, you will not admit it if you say if. So that is not going to be a real apology in my book. Saying if they done anything to you, you know what you done. You know how you did it and what you had done before. Now, getting back to this, life is just too short. Now that mixes in with that forgiveness, because life is too short to not be forgiving, and then some people say, well, there are some things that are just unforgivable. And I know that it would be hard, and we live in a realistic world, and I'm a very realistic person. However, I find that if you are a Christian, if you truly a Christian, then you would find forgiveness. You would find forgiveness. You really would. Now, could you introduce yourself to our audience? I have a special guest with me tonight, that is with me up in the cabins, and we're all celebrating. We all celebrating life. We all celebrating life. We all got together last year. This seems to be a yearly thing that we come to the cabins, and we celebrate together. We celebrate together, and actually, I believe it's a celebration of life. Hello, Tawana. Oh, thank you for joining. Appreciate you joining. Oh, yes, she's one of our top viewers, and we certainly do appreciate you joining in with us today. Yes, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Sandra Lewis, and I am here enjoying myself here in the cabins. It is an annual thing that we're doing, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome, 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 awesome. Great, great, great. Now, I want to ask you a question. What do you think about the cliche of life is too short?
I think it's a true statement. Life really is too short, and you should take advantage of the time that you have with anyone that you love. Doesn't necessarily have to be family, but anyone that's close to you and you hold dear to your heart. It is life is definitely too short to have beef.
Absolutely. I like the way you put that. I like the way you put that. Just embrace and kind of like embrace life, because it actually is short. What the word of God says, life is but a vapor. It used to be 70 years was granted. That's by grace. But however, now in the New Testament, it says life is but a vapor. That means it can just go like that. It can just happen just like that. I had a friend of mine, was 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she just was cleaning her house. and she dropped dead. Drop dead cleaning her house. Drop dead. Let me see what we have here. We have Jeremy here. And what do he say? Life is definitely too short. Having beef with someone is like a person living in your head rent free. It's not worth it. Let it go.
That's true,
Absolutely.
Jeremy. I
Absolutely.
agree.
I totally agree with Jeremy. Jeremy is one of my sons, one of my godsons. I'm always collecting brothers for my sons. So he's one of my godsons, and he's definitely been a blessing to the broadcast here. I'm just going to read that again. Life is definitely too short. Having beef with someone is like a person it's like a person living in your head rent free. It's not worth it. Let it go. Very well said. Very well said. It's like if you're beefing with someone, then yeah, it's a constant thing that could be in your head playing over and over again. You know, you play takes over again, you rewind the situation, you think about it again, and then you just reliving it, and there they are. They in your head, rent free. This there bothering on you. And know why they bothering on you? Because it's your choice. It's absolutely your choice. And you the one that need to what? Let it go. Let it go. I mean, I don't know what the situation is. I wasn't there. I'm not you. And I don't know exactly what happened. But I know there are some things that are really bad that is happening to people, such as the worst thing I heard today was someone was expressing how they felt about their mother and about their childhood, and that their mother caused them to have a very difficult childhood that caused some drama, and that has been with them their entire life, which when they start growing up they start having issues with relationships and issues with people and issues within their own selves. And so this was due to the upbringing by a mother that was apparently a prostitute, an alcoholic, and a drug addict. So now we have this scenario of a parent that has been abusive in so many different ways, and that the child, which is now an adult, still holding this bitterness within them and can't seem to move on. Now, are they are they supposed to move on? That's very difficult to answer. Are they supposed to move on? I believe you should try to move on. I believe you should try to move on because life is just too short. Now, do you move on with them, or do you move on without them? You move in, just living right. No, decline. Do you move in with them or without them? Which one? Do you move on with them, or do you move on without them? And I repeated that twice because I wanted the people in the back row to make certain that they heard what I had to say. Now, what do you all think about that? Okay, now we have here Jeremy. Okay, Jeremy. Jeremy always adds substance when he gives his comments. We appreciate that. Jeremy, not forgiving someone you have beef with is mental illness. Wow, this person is a mental illness. You would really let an individual have that much control over your emotions.
That's a good point.
What do you think about that?
That's a good point to give someone that much control over your emotions.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of control, isn't it? That's a lot of control. But still, we have to ask the question, do you move on with them or do you move on without them? You move on with them or move on without them? I'm still asking that question. I'm throwing it out there. If someone, let's say, like I said, a parent before, or even a child, because I know of some situations as to where, and I'm going to give this scenario, and it's a true story. Like I always tell you guys, I can't make this stuff up. This stuff is true, what I be telling you. Listen, we have a parent and we have a child, and the parent entrusted the grown adult child to watch over their finances, okay, and put it in their names, and told them after a while they're going to need those finances back in their name. But however, what had happened was the child took the money, and did not return it back to the parent. Did not return it back to the parent. Um, wow, what do you think?
That's not good.
That's not good, is it? That's not good. That's not good. Let me see. Jeremy, what'd you say, Jeremy? Jeremy says, you have to move on without them, period. Tomorrow is not promised. You have to move on. Wow, yes. You have to move on with, okay, you have to move on without them, period. Tomorrow is not promised. Absolutely. Absolutely. You agree with that? Because um, you got to move on. With or without you, I gotta move on. I cannot have you have this control over my life. I cannot let you have this control of my life. I have got to move on. I gotta move on. Wow. You see here. Um, we have here John Lewis. Beefing is for the birds. Too much life to live. Absolutely. Said beefing is for the birds. You all heard that. Beefing is for the birds. Too much life to live. Now, take that. Take that right there.
That's wonderful.
Yes, that is. What do you think?
I agree.
I agree. We both agree with that. Absolutely.
100%.
100%. Okay, let me see here what Tawana says. She says, I would forgive, but keep it moving. All right. Great point. Great point. Great point. Great point. She says, I will forgive, but keep it moving. And when you say you're going to keep it moving, do you mean that when you move, you're going to move without them being in your head? Without them bothering you, the thoughts coming in and out, and you are reacting to these negative thoughts. So that means you're going to move on, and you got to have a clear conscience, a clear mind, able to move on because you forgave them. I'd like to know what you have to say about that. Okay, let me see here. Jeremy, in that situation, it's a lost cause, especially when money is involved. Oh, really? If I can't bless you with money, then I won't let you borrow it. Well, you know what? Whenever you do loan money out, sometimes you just gotta have that thought. It's
Never
just,
gonna get it
you're
back.
never gonna get it back. You just gotta have that thought. Well, this is a gift. Sometimes you just gotta say, well, this is just a gift, because I know I ain't gonna get it back. But when you entrust your own flesh and blood, and sometimes no, they don't even give your money back. But however, this is some of the things that happen. Mr. Smith, he's one of our number one top haters.
What is Mr.
Jay
Smith
Smith.
saying?
He says today Thursday. No, Mr. Smith, today is not Thursday. Today is Friday. Okay, we had to switch up this week because we made a trip to the Gatlinburg to the cabins, and it was kind of late on yesterday, so we couldn't get it together. But however, we're together today, okay? All right, let me see what Tawana had to say. She said, they cannot rent space in my life. All right. Hey, they cannot. Thank you. Thank you. They cannot rent space in my life. They cannot rent space in my life. Okay, Jeremy, what you saying here, Jeremy? Jeremy is saying here, he says, I don't want to be disappointed if I don't get my money back. So you just give it as a gift. Because I be disappointed. I'm no, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't be disappointed. I be downright mad. I be mad because you made a verbal or a written agreement, a promise to pay me back my money, So I'm going off of your word that you're going to do such, that you're going to do such. But, sometimes you got to let those things go because it does play in your head. It does. It really do. It
But
really
does the
do.
dollar amount matter?
I think the dollar amount does matter to
Because
me.
if it's a small amount,
What's considered a
then
small amount?
well, I would say 500 and lower.
500 and lower is a small amount. Okay. Okay, she says 500 and lower is a small amount. Okay. But that may be a small amount for some. And that may be something that would really make changes in someone's life if they gave up that $500 and they're looking for it back. So to some, it depends. It depends. So if you're on vacation, where's the margaritas? I told you he's something else. He's something else. Jamar, come and get Mr. Smith.
I don't know why you keep pulling up this comment.
I don't know why come I pull up his comment. I hope he'll say something nice.
So your TikTok, remember you got the TikTok people.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
them that they want to engage more, that they would need to maybe go follow me on Facebook.
Okay, you all heard that. If you all would like to engage in the conversation, follow me on Facebook, Jocelyn M. McGuire. Okay. Let me see here. 500. That ain't how my bank account works. Okay. So, like I was saying, 500 for some is like, oh, that's nothing. 500 for others, like, oh, that's a great substance that I had to.
50 and under.
50 and under. 50 and under. I can live with that. I can live with people not paying me back my $50 or $20, because it does happen. But I learn a lesson from them. And sometimes I be glad when people don't pay me back. Know why I be glad when people don't pay me back? Because guess what? They not gonna come back again and ask for another loan, okay? Because guess what? You owe me. You forgot? Oh, I ain't forgot. Oh yeah, you owe me $5. My God, Jeremy, people know when they did you wrong. I believe that. I believe that. Yeah, they do.
And so they avoid you.
So they avoid you. They avoid you. But they also know that karma is real too. You reap what you sow. Wow, absolutely. You reap what you sow. People know when they did you wrong, but they also know that karma is real. You reap what you sow. And then, Mr. Smith, you should have got in on the conversation. Who is that with you? Oh my God, who is that with you? Could you reintroduce yourself?
Sandra.
This is Sandra. This is Sandra. And she's my special guest today. And we are vacationing here in Gatlinburg at the I'm gonna say the family's cabin. All right, because we do this kind of annually. All right, all right. Now, when people come into your life and you kind of involve them with your family. With your family. Are they now a part of your family? I believe they become part of the family dynamics. I believe they become a part of the family dynamics because then you're sharing history, you're sharing things about yourself. We're sharing food, sharing good times together, creating what we call good memories, which become what? Priceless. Which become priceless because memories are very priceless. So no, so now we are living the life and saying that life is just too short. Let's just enjoy each other. Life is just too short. Let's just love on each other. Life is just too short. Let's show love to one another and let's enjoy each other. All right? Life is just too short. Yeah, you my family too. This. Yeah, you my family too. He went to Jefferson.
Who is that?
James Smith. He was yeah, he came out in 76. He came out in 76 and James Smith. He came out in
They live in
76.
Atlanta?
No, he lives in Dayton now.
Oh,
Yes, he lives in Dayton now. And I came out in 77. Yeah. What year you come out?
okay. 80.
80. She came out in 80. All right. Now, let's get back to what we were saying. Now, life is too short. You know what? I hear this all the time at a funeral. Don't you hear it all the time at a funeral? And people always stating, "Oh, oh, I'm so glad." Oh, excuse me, guys. So I'm so glad to see you. And we only come snack. We only come together when there's a funeral. We only come together when there's a funeral going on. And life is just too short. And I'm trying to get this pod together, guys. Life is just too short. Life is just too short, and we just need to do better. We just need to do better. That's what we be saying, right? We just need to do better.
We need to do better.
Yeah, we need to do better. We absolutely need to do better. Absolutely need to do better. Oh, we can't get that right. We absolutely need to do better. Um, we need to do better. We need to do better because the only time we say, "Oh, life is just too short," yeah, and we just need to do better and see each other more, honey. But you know what? And you loving on each other. You loving on each other. Then the next thing you know, with 24 hours, you back to being your old nasty self again. Oh my God. I said your old nasty self. The old nasty self again. After 24 hours. Okay. So you really didn't mean that thing like it's too short. It sounds good when you say it, don't it? Oh yeah, it sounds good. Oh, I got the son in the background here. Listen here. Let me ask him a question. Then come here, son. This my middle son. This my middle son, Drell. He the one that helps put all these things together, bring us together in harmony and in love, making us all as one. And we what? Guess what? We graciously appreciate him because he is such a magnificent young man. I'm not just saying it because he's my son, but because he is who he is, and he is wonderful. He is wonderful. Listen, son, we're saying here our topic today is life is too short. Get rid of the beefing. What do you think about that?
First of all, thank you, Mother, for the great compliments. But life is definitely too short. You got to learn to create boundaries and let go of some things. Remember, boundaries is needed to keep both parties safe, sane, and humble. All right?
Mm. All right, that sounds great. Can you repeat that again?
Boundaries is needed to keep both parties safe, sane, and humble.
Say, sane, and humble. Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Boundaries is what caused this. And it has an effect, boundaries. If you cross the boundaries, then guess what? You're going to have issues. You're going to have issues. When you cross the boundaries, you're going to definitely have issues. And you're going to have problems that you cannot really deal with, that you have created because what? You cross the boundaries. All right. So we know that we should set boundaries. Some people do not have boundaries at all. And this is why their life is in a constant conflict with um, others or within their family, and I talked about this before. Let your grown children be grown. You don't raise them to the best of your ability. Now, the choices they make in life, guess whose choices they are? That's their choices. So we have to set boundaries. No, we may give suggestions, and there's nothing wrong with suggestions, but sometimes it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. It's how you would say it. So it's very important on how we speak and the words that we use and the tone that we use as well. Because we talked about communication one time in our topic about communication, how people have a hard time communicating because of different vocabularies and different tones and body language, which may read differently, but however, it may not even be what you think it is. It can be also innocent. So we must create boundaries. We must create boundaries. And could you give those three words again? Why? Why we create boundaries, Mr. Jamerson?
To keep both parties safe, sane, and humble.
Safe, sane, and humble. Safe, sane, and humble. Safe, sane, and humble. Safe, sane, and humble. Wow. I hope you all are taking this in. Because these are nuggets. These are nuggets. Safe, sane, and humble when you create boundaries. And if we could create these boundaries, guess what? We won't have no beefing. Thank you. Isn't that amazing? If we create these boundaries, then guess what? We will not have any beefing going on. But there must be what? Boundaries. There must be boundaries. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not about to go across to me. Oh, okay. With some he's so silly.
So we're saying create boundaries. Right?
Create boundaries.
Right. Creating boundaries will help you to maintain your mental stability, help you maintain your emotional stability, and will also help you maintain your spiritual stability as well. So we must have to learn how to protect ourselves by a boundary is protection, right? So when you create that boundary, it is like putting a hedge around you of protection. So that way you don't allow infiltration to come into you and to disturb, your livelihood, your peace, your joy, your love, your mind, all of that's your spirit man, okay? You gotta make sure you protect your soul, your spirit man, okay? And even if somebody does cross over the boundary, kick them out. Okay, kick them out, and you have to pick up the pieces and figure out where you went wrong and what type of people you don't need in your life and what type of people you need in your life, and you move on from there. All right, that's my 2 cents right there. I'm out.
Well, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That did you all hear that? Absolutely. Those were nuggets. Now you all know who that was. That was my other son, my eldest son. This is my middle son. And hopefully my baby boy will come through here. We got to hear what his take is on about life is too short and get rid of the beefing, right? Okay. So we have heard some nuggets here. We appreciate the comments. Listen here. Life is too short. Get rid of the beefing. Get rid of the beefing. Now, let me ask you a question, son. Since we have you here, let me ask you this on this dialogue. Let me ask you. Now, do you think that if a person has really wronged you, okay, and we can't say what bothers you may not bother me, or what bothers you is nothing, it may really bother you, but however, can we go on with this person that has betrayed us? Betrayal, can we move on without us replaying this betrayal in our heads? Is there a possible way of moving on when people have really betrayed you? I find it very difficult.
So it is possible to move on, but not necessarily with that same person who betrayed you. You can move on with somebody else or another situation, but the person who betrayed you, that was definitely their lack in life, so that's their downfall. It shouldn't change who you are, and you shouldn't make anybody pay for another man's mistakes.
Wow, 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 wow. That is so awesome because a lot of times people, when they have been betrayed, um, or they have been, what's another word I want to use? Another word I want to use, abandoned. When they have been betrayed or abandoned, it seems like people carry this luggage with them and they take it out on other people. They actually take it out on other individuals and they put everyone all together in this fishbowl. Everyone is all classified together. All women are the same, is what men would say. And women would say all men are the same, is what the women would say. And we got this fish bowl here. And we just want to have certain type of fish in it. But you know what? In the fish bowl, a number of different fish can live in there. And we got to make sure we have the right type of water and make sure we feed them and make sure we don't overfeed them or underfeed them. So within this fish bowl, let's try to get it together. Let's try to get it together within this fish bowl. Everyone is not the same, and everyone should not pay the penalty of someone else's faults or shortcomings. Okay. Now I'm telling you the truth because you know what? Life is too short, and sometimes you can miss out. Think about it. You can miss out of meeting that special someone that should be in your life because you got this fishbowl you carrying around and you neglecting it, and you're just got this fishbowl and it just being neglected and everything in there is rotten, spoiled, and no good. But however, guess what? You'll miss out on the person you actually should be with. So, by that being said, let's get rid of those negative thoughts that has been bothering us for years. Let's get let me say that again. Let's get rid of those negative thoughts that has been bothering us for years, that has crippled our destiny, because those negative thoughts, they cripple your destiny, you know, because you're afraid to move on, you're afraid to go on, you want to but you don't, you trust but you ain't gonna trust. You know what I'm saying? Now, is that James in the background?
No, that was William.
Oh, William. Okay, my nephew. Okay, one of my nephews in the background there. Okay, now listen here. How do you get rid of beefing? How do you get rid of beefing? How, how do you get rid of beefing?
You asking me?
Yes.
Two ways: fasting and solitude.
Hmm.
So watch what you put in your mouth, because that can play with your emotions. And then you're gonna have to spend some time alone. That's
Okay.
help creating the boundaries you need to protect your peace and sanity.
Okay. Okay. You guys heard that. He said fasting in solitary. Be by yourself. Be by yourself. How about fasting and meditation, prayer? Those combinations, fasting, meditation, prayer, being by yourself, watching the things that you put inside your body, get rid of all those preservatives, all that sugar, because all that does play with your emotions. All that has a factor. Just like when you eat chips and things of that nature, chips, they have that MSG in it. And they used to have it in seasonings. And it's a food enhancer. And we come to find out what it did to the rats in the lab. It killed them. So we would think that some children, based upon this MSG, causes different various behaviors. So if we stop putting these preservatives in our body, then guess what? Everything else will line up. Because I know this one right here. No, we all believe that the gut is connected to the brain.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So you're talking about in the food, right?
In the food,
How it
yes.
alter your emotions and cause depression.
Causes disease, which is
Disease.
dis-ease.
Yes, exactly. So it causes illnesses, disease, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Chronic diseases, inflammation in your joints,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, stuff like that, mental unstableness, autism as well. Let's fix this.
Jarrell, could you come around
It
here
calls,
and plug that up for me?
It causes autism as well. That's why, that's why we have so many of our kids
Shamaria.
suffer from autism because of fast food, preservatives and stuff like that, steroids that is in the food. Okay. So if you eat fast food all the time, then you are on a crash course. You're like really on a crash course to your body breaking down. If you're pregnant and you're eating fast food, and you're setting up your child to have these mental setbacks as well.
Your
So,
unborn child.
your unborn child.
My
Yeah,
goodness.
your unborn child. Yeah. And then also it helps you to think clear. Rest, of course, is priority. So rest is definitely priority. I was reading an article yesterday about how now they're saying we really just need 7 hours of sleep. Between the ages of 35 and 70, you need at least 7 hours of sleep.
Oh, okay.
Sleep and rest also helps to combat dementia and Alzheimer's as well. So you don't have proper rest. You ever notice that when you don't have proper rest, you can't make the best decisions?
That is true.
You can't make
That's
the best
true.
decision. So you need that rest. And so what your brain is doing, your brain is trying to overcompensate on working and everything like that, and you're actually damaging your brain. So that's why rest and sleep is very, very important.
Well, actually, the rest has to do with the digestion. Digestion, we can only enter into the perfect digestion stage when we enter into REM sleep. And if not, you're just backing yourself up with old food, and then you put more food on top of it the next day.
That's
You
why you
can
can't,
fast for 5 days and
yeah.
still have 2 bowel movements a day.
Mm.
You know, eat like I eat, nothing but vegetables and fruit, still have bowel movements 5 days later.
Yeah.
So it's all about entering into that digestion stage so you can get rid of that toxins and that waste out your body.
Absolutely. And then also as well, that's why you can't eat late at night. You eat late and then you lay down. You're not resting.
So all this is part of a combination of being able to get rid of beefing. No, because no, if you have a pure heart and a clear mind, then you wouldn't want to hold negative thoughts within yourself because now you're eating clean. Since you're eating clean and you're going to get your proper rest, then your thoughts will be positive and your thoughts will be more clear.
Don't forget about the water.
In the water, and drinking plenty of water will help you with your emotions. Like he was saying, you just pregnant women, need to watch what you're eating because you're just setting your unborn child up, for all these other things that can happen. And we wonder, well, why do we have these birth defects and things of this nature? It could be because some type of chemical imbalance or substance taken in that should not have been taken in, and that would cause great harm to your unborn. Now, since we're talking about get rid of beefing and the things that we would put in our bodies that would make us think clearly, then some way, we need to implement a plan. We need to implement a plan on how are we going to get our thoughts together? How are we going to maneuver through life from this point on? Can we change ourselves? Absolutely, you can change yourself. Can you change others? It can be a difficult task, but however, because of your example, others can change. Absolutely. Because of your example, others absolutely can change. Do anybody know what James is at? Because we got like 7 more minutes. And I would like to have him on here with us as well. Now they back there, they having a sensational time because you hear the music in the background. And I don't know who music that is, but I'm gonna just put it out there. I don't have the rights to any of this music and I don't know what it is that's playing. Every now and then the music come in and goes back out. But however, guess what? We're here and we're having a sensational time. A sensational time. You see, my son is in the background cooking. My son is in the background cooking, and we're getting it together. Oh, look. Well, well, well. Look who has arrived. My youngest son, my baby boy, has arrived here on the scene. Oh, it's so wonderful to see you, son. So wonderful to see
Yeah, it's
you.
wonderful to see you too.
All right, now listen here. You see, our subject for today is life is too short. Get rid of the beefing. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
Can you expound on that for us a little bit?
I'm a vegan, so what's beef? You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't got time to be beefing about nothing, man. They ain't got time for all that. Life too short.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't got time for that. I gotta put all the feelings beside, man. And you feel me? Put the pride down. Give out a hug or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give a hug. You feel me? You feel me?
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because we say it as a cliche that life is too short. Do you think we just say that as a cliche, or do we actually mean it? What do you think?
You actually mean that?
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
Repeat that again. I didn't become
Okay, do we always say life is too short? Do we say it just as a cliche, or do people actually mean it?
Some people actually mean it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They don't experience a lot of deaths come and go.
Yeah.
People done came, they ain't supposed to be gone for real. So when you experience a couple of them, you'll definitely know life too short. So you know.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But let me ask you this. Now, your two brothers gave their take on how to get rid of beefing. Do you let people just live in your head? You didn't let them just live in your head, with this problem that they created or may be created by the both of you all. And but however, you still replay this thing in your head. And you got these negative thoughts on this person all the time. And like someone was saying on here, like they live it in your head rent free. So how do you get rid of beefing?
Uh, well, when you get rid of beef, at first you gotta stay busy.
Okay, stay
You gotta
busy.
have some business about yourself.
Okay, okay, okay.
Then when you have that business, you gotta know that when you got that business about yourself, you gotta, put a lot of stuff to the side. Now you gotta put your pride to the side and get that money. And people be always saying, if you still be beefing about a lot of stuff, you ain't getting no money.
All right.
You bickering. You're not getting no money. No money is getting. You bickering more to your time while everybody else doing their thing.
All
So
right.
you gotta understand about what's more important about beefing or getting some money, because at the end of the day, most of the time people be beefing about stuff don't be about nothing. It's just about a miscommunication. You know what I'm saying?
Miscommunication.
And what they say about young King Von said, we don't know how to talk to each other.
Well,
So when we learn how to talk to each other, a lot of stuff can get done.
that's right. That's right. Communication is very important. Well, something came off the bear. Some came off the beer. But you know what? You're absolutely right, son. Yeah, communication is definitely the key to ending beefing. Communication is definitely the key. So we have got to know how to communicate. It is so vital to our substance of us. It's vital that we do know how to communicate. It's vital that we do know how to keep boundaries. It's vital that we pay attention to the things that we enter into our bodies, you know, different foods and preservatives and things of that nature. So it's very important, these three combination of things that we should do in order to have peace in our life and harmony in our life and to get rid of beefing. Because guess what, guys? Life is too short. It is too short. It is. It is absolutely too short. And we need to love on each other. Get rid of the beefing.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it's not worth
Call
it.
your brother. Call your sister. Call them.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Give a hug.
It is not worth it. What'd you say, grandson? It's not worth it. Come here. Now we're going to hear from a younger generation here. This is my only grandson, and we call him EJ. And EJ, tell them how old you are.
I'm 2 years old.
He's 10 years old. So, what do you have to say about life is too short and get rid of beefing?
Get rid of beefing because there's no point hurting other human beings and hurting yourself. So it would be best for being nice, taking care, and being kind to others in life.
Be kind to each other
Yes.
in life. Well, you heard it. You heard it. You heard it from my number one grandson. He said, "Be kind in life. Just be kind. It's free, isn't it? I mean, how much does it cost to be kind to each other, right? It costs you not one thing. It costs nothing to be kind to each other. Absolutely costs us nothing to be kind to each other. So love on one another, be kind to each other, and remember, life is too short. Life is too short. What was that you said, son?
Respect.
Oh, respect. Oh my God.
That's huge.
That's a huge one. That's a very huge one. Respect each other. Respect each other. Wow, that's important.
It really is.
It really is. It really is. Respect. And you know what? And we as being adults, we need to respect children as well. You know, as they you say, you want respect, earn respect. But you know what? Give respect. Give respect. You know what I'm saying? I just can't sit up here and talk to these children any sort of way. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do that. You know, because I want them to know that we can resolve this peacefully. This can be resolved peacefully. And the only way children's going to actually learn anything is by what? Example. It's by example. So we as the parents or guardians or grandparents or adoptive parents, then guess what? We need to lead our children with great respect. Respect them, talk to them the way you wish to be spoken to, and love on them
How you want to be
how you want to be loved on. Absolutely, absolutely.
Children have to know they matter.
Children have to know they,
man?
wow. Children have to know that they matter. Now we can ready to wrap this up. Do you have anything you would like to close with on this evening of our Life is Too Short, Get Rid of the Beefing?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone for sharing their evening with us. And I hope that some information was learned that you can use in your daily life because life is too short. It truly is. You need to get rid of the beef. Whatever
Absolutely.
it was that happened years ago, let it go.
Mm,
Move on
mm,
and live your life.
wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Any closing remarks, Mr. Jamerson? Oh, we got. That's right. We got several Jamersons in
Yeah.
here.
I'm not the only one.
We got little Mr. Jameson over here.
Okay.
Closing remarks? Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
for?
sir.
Only thing I would say is the first institution that God ever created was family. Okay.
Family come first, then everything.
Exactly. Family over everything. Okay. I know that some families are torn up, and yeah, it seems like it can't be reconciled. But take it to the Lord. Okay, take it to God in prayer, and and watch God work that thing out. And if you're sincere about it, you go to that person in love and in the spirit of meekness and humility. It will turn around. Okay, and you'll be able to squash the beef.
Mm, absolutely. 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 Nunu, do you have anything you want to say about life is too short? Get rid of the beefing. Okay, that was a no. All right. Listen. Listen, our time has been very well spent. And I want to say this listen, my Cash App is at the bottom of my live. And it's going across there. Some of you all cannot see that. That's on TikTok. You can't see that. But however, my Cash App is $ JOCELYNNMCGUIRE. And the Cash App is there. If you like what we're bringing to you, the contents that we bring it to you on a weekly basis on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we made an exception on today because we're on vacation and we're doing a lot of family time together. So it was an exception today. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, that Cash App, your funds, your donations will enhance this broadcast. It will enhance it. Right now, we're going we're streaming live, and we're doing that through StreamYard, which we really do appreciate and do use them quite a bit. So we want to enhance our program. So Cash App 5, 10, 15, 20. Do you want me to sing it? 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. You know when I'm trying to get the point across. You know I'm trying to get the point across, right? So, once again, if you have a subject matter that you would like for me to expound upon, oh, guess what? Please send me a message. And you know what? I will bring your topic to the forefront so that we can discuss what you have to say. Because what you have to say and your thoughts are what? Very important to me. You're important to me. Your comments are very important to me. And guess what? I love you. But you know what? Most of all, God loves you best. Thank you all for tuning in. What is it, son?
I think you should tell them Cash App name again if they forgot.
Okay, to tell the Cash App address again from my grandson who's full of wisdom. He says, repeat your Cash App again. All right. And my Cash App is $JOCELYNMCGUIRE. Remember, that is two N's. All right. So they write together. And I want you to Cash App me. Let's do that. That way we can enhance our content, our delivery, and all the materials that we need to make this a very number one platform for you guys. Okay.
And stop beefing.
And stop beefing. All right. Stop beefing. Bye bye. Have a great, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
All the moms who have kids, happy Mother's Day. I
All
know
right.
it's too early. I know it's Friday. It's on Sunday. But happy Mother's Day who have kids. I mean, yeah.
Happy Mother's Day,
Happy Mother's Day,
mothers.
y'all.
Happy Mother's Day, mothers.
I love all the mothers.
All right. You love all the
I
mothers.
love all the mommies. Mama mia.
Oh man, and it's such a blessing to have our children with us on today, helping us and loving on us. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
Hug all the mamas.
Hug all the mamas.
Hug all the mommies.
All right, we great in our live here, and we want to say thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, and hopefully we'll be back with you come Tuesday at 7 p.m. Stop beefing.